Hello everyone and welcome back to more for the 2023, although I guess at this point 2024, Imperium Cups for Dune, Imperium with the Rise and Immortality expansions. I'm host and commentator, the BlackShadow, and we're going to be continuing our coverage for the second knockouts for the tournament. So here's a look at the situation here. 10 matches out of 13 played, so we are very nearly on the quarterfinals, which are due to be starting at time of recording in the next few days or so. And as such, we are obviously making a push to get those fixtures finalized so that we can start cracking on with those games and look towards what is going to be a tasty set of brackets in the quarters. A lot of really good games there. A reminder of the format that all match winners from this bracket will go through to the quarterfinals, as well as the 5 top scoring second places out of all 13 games, which means that the likes of Yais, Matt, and Cherry J must simply sit and wait to see if results go their way. As they've done their bit, there's not much else they can do now, but hope that they find their way through to the quarterfinals. Today we're going to look at Match J, featuring Savfk, Shellac, OhBaxter, Videll, and defending Imperium Cup champion Dreizo, who has had to battle his way through from the first knockout brackets and is going to have to go through the entire route of matches if he wants to defend his title. It's going to be a hell of a trip to try to do so, for sure, but it's definitely possible here. It also means I suspect this match is going to be pretty quick. Some of these players are pretty speedy, so I look forward to that when I have to do the commentary for this match. We're going to start off with Savfk, who finished in 3rd place over in Group A. This was topped by Commander Toast and Alisar, but Savfk can feel he had a pretty decent group performance with a victory in the final week of the group stages, playing as Yuna. Not enough to make him a breakthrough to the top 3, however, but he did score 3 second places throughout the competition as well, with Paul Atreides, Duke Leto, and Tessia Vernius. Can't really ask for too much more. Pretty consistent, very solid stuff, but not able to find a second decisive victory to really challenge the top of the table. I would think, given the quality of the opposition here, Savfk will be feeling pretty decent about this and will be maybe a little bit disappointed they didn't get straight through to the quarterfinal. There are 1 or 2 people that have made their way straight to there with worse records than what he's got, but it's about finding those decisive victories, which is definitely going to be what's required for that. But regardless, he's got himself a pretty tough second knockout game to get through. This is a real banana skin for a lot of players here, but I think Savfk will fancy himself coming into this one. OhBaxter also came 3rd place. He was in Group G, which was also a pretty tough group. Topped by Orski, who was in the quarterfinals with a very strong overall group performance. It'll be interesting to see him go through there. This is definitely the furthest that Orski has made in any of our competitions, and he'll be fancying himself a trip towards the finals, I suspect. But in any event, Baxter with the 12 points, narrowly missing out on a top 2 finish, only losing to Holy Boss by a single point, but that was all that was needed. Even so, it was a 3-way tie for 12 points, but Baxter winning with a very strong average points rating. But had to come from behind in order to get through to this stage. 2 third-place finishes in the opening half of the group with Hundra and Raban left him in some real trouble, but a 2nd place of Yuna in week 4, and then finishing with victory in week 6 of Duke Leto against Ophusius, Ecomancer, and Biclops, set himself up for a kind of narrow but still fairly decent 3rd place finish. I do think this is going to be a tough old match, though. Like, out of the various draws that you could have had for this round, this is not a pleasant one, and that's before the defending champion got drawn into it. Videll comes into this from 4th place in Group N, is definitely going to feel that he is the underdog coming into this match, and he's probably right too. This group was absolutely dominated by Matthias and Rainstorm Drop, who completely sealed up the top 2 places between themselves, leaving everyone to scrap for the positions here. And Videll just about held off Jock and Heretic on tiebreakers to see himself through directly to the 2nd round. As an update, Jock is most likely going to come through as a 2nd place finisher in the group to the quarterfinals. Heretic is still yet to play after winning his 1st round match. But again, from Videll, I think this is going to be tough. He had to come from behind as well. Had a very poor start to the competition, finishing last in his week 1 game of the Baron. Scored 10 victory points, but lost on all counts, unfortunately. But manages to pull it back later on, including a incredibly important win in week 5 against Izujui, Rifster, and no 3406, and just about edged his way through straight to the second knockout round. But I think this is going to be really tough for Videll. There's a lot of places that this could get really unstuck. It's possible he might just get himself a little bit overwhelmed. I would worry if Videll falls behind early. I think it's going to be very difficult for him to catch up here. So I think Videll's going to need a really, really strong start, give himself some options later on. He's going to have to navigate a real minefield of a match. And that leads us to Dreizo, who came through as a fastest loser from the group stages and is having to make a repeat of what he did in the first time he won this competition, where he came through the wildcards and then came back to win the entire tournament. Dreizo absolutely smashed the first knockout bracket, however. A complete hammering over Mystic Gamer, Ophusius, and Lannister in Match Cage. It's a game I was unfortunately not able to watch, but yeah, absolutely dominant victory. Sets himself up with this incredibly tasty second round game. And I don't know that Dreizo comes into this favourite. I think this is really open up. Again, apart from Videll, who I do think could be a pretty tough game for him, I think other than that, this is a completely wide open affair. And it'd be interesting to see how Savfk, Baxter, and Dreizo kind of play amongst each other here. I do think the favourite's going to be one of them. If I had to put my money down, though, I guess I would have to put it down for Dreizo to make it through to the quarterfinals. This is going to be a real tough game for all involved. This is also going to probably go very fast. Dreizo is a very, very fast player. Some people just naturally are. So we're just to see how this one goes. Should be a good watch, though. Looking forward to this. So we're getting ourselves ready for the match here. Zakshilak is in the first seat, which means it is Videll who's going to be choosing first in the blue seat. So look at the opening row and text here. And this is quite a fun little row, actually. Interesting. So Talaxa row is quite fascinating, actually. We've got From the Tanks, which is not a very well-regarded card. It probably isn't particularly good, but we also have Scientific Breakthrough, which is pretty desirable. A lot of people reckoning they can make definite use of getting that cash. And it's worth noting Scientific Breakthrough's on the road because both Spiritual Fervors are on the row as well. And that means someone might well, if they can get 2 experimentations in the first reveal or action or whatever you want to call it, might well consider buying Spiritual Fervor to get another specimen so that they can get hold of Scientific Breakthrough. I could definitely see that happening. Other than that, though, Steel Stick Manufacturer, incredibly strong card. You can get the alliance of that. Very, very powerful. Spice Trade is also pretty strong, and we didn't really let you do some kind of cool stuff here. So quite a fun little row, actually. You know, I'm interested to see what people make of this. As for our techs here, it's okay. Spaceport, Flagship, and Detonation Devices are the 3 techs here. None of them are going to be bought particularly early. Maybe sometimes you might see a detonation, maybe round 3, round 4. But other than that, you're not going to see any early tech buys. So that's going to be a little bit stagnant perhaps for a while. But just to see if someone pulls in for Detonation Devices, you imagine someone's going to have a crack at that before this match is all said and done. As for our leaders, well, this is getting even more interesting. Count Ilban and Viscot Hundro are going to be picked probably as the first 2 in that order. But beyond that, it's hard to know. Armady Kaz has some interesting synergy with Spiritual Fervor. Again, going for Scientific Breakthrough. Romba's got synergy with the Detonation Devices. Lasery Kaz, she could find some single card grafting, could also be pretty good here. Ariana also potentially has some use here as well with Spice Trader and Steel Stick Manufacturer. So this could be an interesting one to see what make of this. There's a lot of opportunity here, but I think people might have to go a little bit outside the comfort zone to really get a ton of value. We'll see how this goes. I think it should be a fun little match. So this is the first match that I'm recording since the end of Christmas. It is not 2024 just yet, but I imagine there are 1 or 2 people that maybe haven't played for a little while. So yeah, hopefully Dreizo's pretty rusty. We'll see how he goes. So unsurprisingly, Videll taking Ilbund and 4th, pretty strong. Seems one of the best leaders in this format of the game. And then Dreizo will be next. It'd be interesting to see if he picks Hundro just to deny it in first position. I think Hundro in 3rd is fine, but it can be a bit of an awkward situation because in the current meta where 1st goes smuggling and 2nd tends to go shipping quite a lot, 3rd can get cut out of that a little bit here, but decides that Hundro is worth it, and I think I agree there as well. So here come the interesting calls here. I think Armady Kaz in 1st position, given this Imperium row, is totally fine, and you can look to threaten Scientific Breakthrough. Decides to go for it, and then it's up to Baxter here. So I normally would like to pick a laser, but the initial board is not very good for her, truth be told. I think I might go Romba and just put everything behind detonation devices and try and pick up like a point. Or if you can pick up 2 points via detonation and say your signet ring. But I'll also go for a laser anyway, so going to try and find something interesting. Dreizo gets a couple of intrigues. Second wave and has machine culture. Goes for the swords early. Not a surprise, looking to target an early influence bump. So machine culture is going to be up front here for whoever wants it. I don't think machine culture is going to be a ton of use, but we'll see how we go. If the techs start going and they start getting cheap, then that could be of value, but we'll see how we go here. Oh, well, here we go then, everyone. So, a laser, of course, does have one step ahead. So, the way she works is that she needs to put a card down at the round stop before anyone puts any cards down. If players just play their cards without giving her a chance, then obviously that's on them. That's not a laser's fault. She has no time limit for this. So, opening conflict is a victory point here. It's a good one. It is its victory point with a bit of money and the... Whoops, sorry about that. And the intrigue there. All 3 spots are not too bad. A laser has put down her signet ring, notably. So, interesting to see what she's going to... Probably just going to go fold space and then, I guess, maybe just go, like, to a city or something. We'll see. Ikaz opens up with smugglings. Ikaz he's going to get hold of a spiritual fervor here. But the problem is he's only got one of them. Saidina turns up in the row here. Well, well, well. This could get interesting in a hurry. A laser fold spaces as you'd expect. Hundro's pulled his signet ring and both Diplos immediately. Not what he wanted to see here. I imagine he'll just go steel suits a lot of the time, and does. And he'll start putting these dudes in here. He's only going to put in one. He does have second wave, ultimately, if he feels he really wants to bomb it. Ilban has no faction access. He's got both experimentations and signet. I would 100% be going Imperial Basin here every single time. You've got to keep that away from people. Especially Hundro would like to do that a lot of the time. Looks like Hundro's going to opt to give up his initial signet ring here. Ilban tries to go Arrakis to try and pick up some faction access and fails. I think I would have preferred using experimentation there. Because now Imperial Basin goes a lot of the time, and if you want to use one, you're going to have to go Haga Basin. You might want to keep that water, so I don't know if I like that move. But we'll see. Ikaz is up. Diplo's in hand. Could go Wealth. I don't hate Wealth. Wealth means that you can just cash in on any smuggling trip if it ever gets to that. Problem is, he's thinking ahead as well, like, does he want Savfk Breakthrough? He's not going to be able to unless he draws another card, but Wealth just seems fine to me. I don't hate it. I know, obviously, there's rewards in the conflict, but, you know, I don't hate this. A laser with her signet ring will go Carfag. I imagine she's going to put in all 3. Finds the machine culture that Hundro put away. I don't think that tells a ton about the situation. Just to see if a laser decides to opt for another fold space card with the signet ring. I suspect she won't because she's going to be doing double fold space. Good old just to limp in and take the 2 troops. I think that's okay. I mean, Ikaz, I guess, could have gone Hardy Warriors, but it's pretty committing. No, a laser does decide to punt for it. So Hundro is just going to rely on second wave getting the job done. He finds advanced weaponry as well, which gives extra potential value to the detonation devices. And what does Ilban want to do here? Tough spot for Ilban to really put in more troops here. But occasionally he might go Basin and just put in both of these. Interesting spot for Ilban. I feel like going for the skirmish point's good. It's a bit awkward, obviously a laser has the intrigue, but it's an intrigue that Hundro discarded, so I think it's less likely it's a combat card than if it was a flat draw. Depends how you see it. I think you've got to use an experimentation here to, like, Imperial Basin minimum. Or is he going to reveal early for, like, Steel Suits Manufacturer? Or is he going to reveal early for Spiritual? He does! Wow, well... Saidina ultimately reveals early for it. Interesting call. Interesting call. Didn't expect that. So, Hundro's going to be able to get the victory point here with second wave. It's going to be an expensive couple of Solari for Ilban here. Ikaz has only got 2. Nothing he can buy from the row here, unless he decides to just completely gamble and rip it, which at 2 is pretty much a liberty, really. A laser with 5. Replacement eyes is such a great card for her. I know Suzuki Manufacturer's there, but it's a single card graph card. Like, for me, it's replacement eyes all day. Any single... Oh my god, she rips it! Oh, that's so greedy! Wow, well, it's shifting allegiances, and that's all she's going to get here. She's also going to go for Guild Ambassador, so she's going to try and do some trashing with shipping there. Man, that was greedy at 5. I mean, I don't know. Hondro with 3 is going to probably rip it himself. I feel like Dreizo's going to... He might grab Space Travel, but I think he's going to gamble and try and find a decent card. In the shadows, he'll take, definitely. Freighter Fleet's there. This is an insane road. Boundless, Paita, TM. It's an insane set of cards. Wow. So here's the second wave. So that will take the lot here. As was played for. So he'll take the point. Alazer will take the fresh intrigue. And we'll rock and roll from there. I love how Hondro, like, takes the point immediately before Baxter takes the, actually says pass, because he obviously knows that Alazer doesn't have a combat card, so funny. Anyways, moving on. So does Hondro Muratani target detonation devices this game? I have a funny feeling he will do. He's got his early skirmish points, so you might well look to try to go, kind of, buckling up here. We'll see how this goes. Wow. That might change some plans. It's machinations. It's machinations. My god. So what's Hondro going to do here? I'm curious to see. He's going to have to go, like, mining for sure. Is he just going to hard buy detonation devices with his dagger? I don't know. We'll see. A laser with her Diplo. Obviously, she'll just go shipping here. There's no real huge surprise here. So, as long as you get a troop in, you're going to get hold of some value here. Oh, Arrakis, my apologies. He used both of them. So he's hoping to find, get lucky with a draw. Finds his signet ring. He can live with that. Wow. That's wow. So, Ilban goes still suits, which means Armored Ekaz gets round 2 Swordmaster. Just allowed it. Okay, well, Zach is not going to be complaining. Okay, cool. I'll take my round 2 Swordmaster as Armored Ekaz, so I can now get massive value out of coordination. Sure, cheers for that. I did say, like, him going wealth, like, means occasionally, if he does ever get the smuggling, he gets just Swordmaster meat, and that's exactly what's happened there. That is wild. That is wild. I don't see any reason for a laser to change her plan here. It is machinations, but I don't really know what else you can really do. She's considering maybe getting some spies, but I think you've committed yourself down this path. You might as well just see it through at this point. Hondro's got his signet ring. It just reveals for 5 for TM. Just reveals for 5 for TM. It's not a strong card. Foam grip comes out. My god. So Ilban, curious to see what Ilban's going to do here. Ilban knows he's ahead currently. Doesn't know what Hondro's other intrigue is, admittedly, but once second wave gets used that first time, I think it's likely the second one isn't very combat heavy. I don't feel he has put in more troops. I don't hate going wealth here once in a blue moon. You are worried about Hardy Warriors from Ekaz, though, so I wouldn't be surprised seeing a Hardy Warriors block. It doesn't do it. Wow. Armored Ekaz is just going to go Swordmaster Hardy Warriors here, surely. I think Ilban maybe should have considered blocking that. I think he's missed the trick there. Especially knowing that it's the only way he can get into the combat is Hardy Warriors. I think he should have just gone Hardy Warriors and called it a day, and it would have just completely cut Ekaz out of the conflict. And I think that's perhaps a little bit of a miss there. But what are you going to do? Did he get his specimen? Thing is, specimens are optional. They're not mandatory takes, so even if he doesn't take it, I can't tell him he has to. Wow, opts for the Beetle and does not go for Scientific Breakthrough. Oh, that is a surprise. That's a huge surprise. How do you not take Scientific Breakthrough as Ilban there? I'm pretty surprised about that. Well, Ekaz has to just bomb Hardy Warriors. Bomb it, put in 3 troops. You could put in all 4 if you want, but I mean, it's up to you. You might put in 4 just as insurance in case Hundo does happen to have another battle intrigue, just in case. I don't hate him doing this. I think it's worth spreading the troops. So, yeah, I think Ikaz will be pretty happy here. Round 2, Swordmaster and Machinations win. And he's going to get Firm Grip as well. I think Ikaz is going to be exceptionally happy with the opening for this game here. He's going to feel very, very comfortable. So, combat resolved as per. Ilban's going to get hold of his Swordmaster for round 3, courtesy of the Welf trip. And Ikaz is just going to bomb the Emperor Alliance here. No surprises there. And we'll move on. Spice building up here. No one has gone... there's tons of spice out there. No one has mined yet, which is crazy. That will change. Hundro will start getting his mining going here. So, free war between Hundro and Ilban here. Ilban is going to be hitting steel suits, of course, he wants to pay for Saidina. So he's got to decide what he wants to do first here. I feel like you've just got to go Haga Basin and just take that and hope you get the Saidina's use here. But it's tricky though, because the other issue you've got is that you also need to bear in mind Sword Mastering as well. So you've got to decide and just opts for the point. Gives up the spice here. Oh, it hurts a little bit to do that. But he wants to guarantee the point here, which I don't hate. So just going to take the Saidina point as well as the throwing point and call it a day. Does give him access to Siege now as well to help with that, but that's a lot of spice to give up here. Ikaz is up. I wouldn't have hated Ikaz actually, instead of bumping Emperor, bumping the Fremen, because he would now be able to go to Siege and then start threatening Haga Basin and stuff. But never mind. Anyways, goes to Arrakis. Has a huge reveal hand here. Elijah Ikaz has got a bit of a weird spot here. Bear in mind, of course, Eliza, she's put down her experimentation card, so she's committing herself to do something else first. She's got both fold spaces in hand. Surely, I mean, just go Haga Basin. Haga Basin and just start shipping. Like, you cannot allow the opposition to get this spice here. And that spice goes towards you with machine culture. You can go early spaceports. You can start top-decking some strong cards. I actually don't even hate spaceport here for Eliza Kaz. I think you gotta go Haga Basin and put this troop in. I think you've got to do it when the garrisons are pretty vacant at the moment, and you've got I feel like this is what you got to do. I think for me, it's Haga Basin, put the troop in with a fold space, and then just ship afterwards. I don't think your shipping's in no danger. You don't have to worry about that. It's 4 spice there for 1 water. It's so good for you. You can grab flagships round 3 if you wanted. There's so much value to be had here. I think it's Haga Basin for me. What else would you be considering? Like blocking fold space? It's a bit negative. Truth be told. It's just such a juicy prime spot here. You know that Hundro wants to go there. If he can. He'd love to go there if he can. Especially once Ilban gives up the spot. If you don't go there, Haga Basin, right now, you will never get there. Mentat! Wow! Pulls double daggers. Wow, I did not expect that. And Hundro begins the charge at selective breeding, just trying to find Talaxi Master as many times as humanly possible. Wow. It has begun. It's not the most interesting strategy, but you know, when you grab TM, so you do, you just trash cards and just try and pull it as many times and just make it pay for itself. Funky round this. Ikaz picks up Harvest Cells. He would love to get an extra troop in so he can pay for that, but he can't currently. Well, Laser, I assume she was trying to draw certain things. I think she might go Haga Basin with this. How is she still not going Haga Basin? What? I think she feels she's got to use she wants to use a Diplo, maybe for like Carthag or something. I think, for Hardy Warriors. I guess that's what's going on. Wow. Pretty wild round, this. Hundro's just going to charge the Benny Alliance. No shocks here. Yep, just going to accelerate as soon as humanly possible so we can top deck Scientific Breakthrough. Pretty straightforward this for Hundro. Not surprised to see any of this. Well, he wants big reveal effects. He's got only 2 Persuasion. He could go for Freighter Fleet. I don't hate taking Freighter Fleet. Maybe look to trash it later on. I wouldn't be surprised to see him take Freighter Fleet. He might just go for a Liaison. He might also just not buy anything. And just keep his deck as minimal as possible. Just thinks, well, I just want to reveal TM constantly and just win the game. Again, not the prettiest method, but oh well. Wow. Ilban opts for the water, and apparently Hager Basin is just like... Apparently, Iximo has passed me by. In my time of playing Uprising and sampling it... Sorry about that, I've just had that box open for you, apologies. But apparently, in the time of sampling for me playing Uprising, the strategy and the meta for Iximo has just completely passed me by. Apparently, 4 spice for 1 more Hager Basin is just simply not good enough. You know, with your experimentation, it's terrible. Terrible action economy, you know. Absolutely blows my mind. Ikaz is just going to charge the Talaxu Spice. I'm not surprised. He's got a couple of specimens spare. I guess he'll just hold on to those for now. He's got 6 to buy. Surely you've got to take Piter or Keys to Power here. Both are really strong cards. He does go for Keys. He's got the Persuasion there already, so he's going to just roll in the Spice here and get maybe some cheap Highlanders going in the sort of like round 5, maybe even round 6 or something. Decides to trash out Spiritual Fervor. Revealed early to do that, by the way. Man, there's a lot of funkiness going on here. I guess immediately that Ikaz had nowhere to go, so he had no actions. So I get him revealing early. Elise, I mean, she wants to go Hardy Warriors. That's the whole reason she's played this go Hardy Warriors, but I think with 2 troops and 2 daggers, you might even win it at Hager Basin. I'm curious to see what she's going to do tech-wise, though, with Machine Culture in hand. Very curious to see what will happen. Does draw. Finds 1 experimentation. She's got a ring coming, which is something that she wants. The problem is she's struggling for council access. So she might have some fun in games here and actually trying to get her way to Swordmaster here. Might need Ixion Probe to get her out of jail. Ilban reveals for free. He's going to grab Chris Knife. I don't hate Chris Knife. He's thinking Fremen Bond. And he's thinking faction access. And he's thinking water access. And a bit of money on the side to help pay for some mentats isn't the worst thing. So I don't hate it. And then a laser reveal for 4. Couple of daggers. She has used her atomics. So she is not going to be able to rip the row here. It's not a good row for 4, truth be told. Secret Forces found. Yeah, loads of 5s. Corrupt Smuggler would be nice, except she already ditched the Graph card. So she might just go Freighter Fleet and call it a day, which I don't hate. You've got Ixion Probe. I guess it's fine. But you want to get that out of your deck fairly quickly, I think. Maybe get like an Ixion Probe and then Selected Breed it or something. I could see that. So, no combat to be played here, as it will be. So, Videll will take the Spice. Spice and Intrigue for red. And Alaza gets a pretty cheap point. 2 troops for Carthag, round 3. It's pretty good going. Charisma found for Ikaz here, so he's going to be looking at starting to get hold of some Spice pretty soon. And we'll move on. Feels like there's a lot of very divergent strategies going on in this game here. Very divergent strategies. The one issue that Hunter's got is his actual economy is dying. So the players need to keep him away from money as much as possible. He's got a very, very scary looking deck. So, but I would not be surprised to see 100 just start bombing Research Station and just like put everything into Talaxu Master. Ilban opens with Mentat. His draw was pretty bad, so I'm not actually surprised to see that. Also, it's Ilban, you know, no surprise. Not giving Eliza a chance to put her card down. That's on them. You know, Eliza, you know, the players have got to let Eliza have the chance to put it down. If they played beforehand, you know, that's on them, ultimately. She can take as long as she needs. It's tricky for Eliza. She wants to get hold of Swordmaster, and she definitely can. She's got to just work out which way around she wants to do this. I don't think it's too relevant. I think I would probably... She's got to decide if she wants to... She wants to play Guild Admin to shipping, I feel. So she can trash out a dagger. So I think she should put this down second. Yeah, I like putting down shifting for your Swordmaster. I like this. I think this is a good strategy. And then you Signet Ring with maximum access. No, she's okay. She's going to hold on for ambushing, trying to ambush a conflict. Or trying to ambush an alliance or something. Okay. A lot going on here. Ekaz will just jam Wealth, I imagine. No reason not to. And that's going to get him his shipping access the next round. So Eliza knows she's going to start getting a bit limited here. But she knew that was going to be the case. So I expect we'll see a laser just to ship it interstellar. Is she considering... Well, hold on a second here. So if she's... Is she eyeing up Highliner? Oh my god, I think Eliza Ekaz is going Highliner here. CJ Arakeen is the conflict. It's more victory points. If she's doing this, I think she's actually looking to take the spice from the shipping here. And she's going to go Highliner with Guild Administrator here. Wow, that's pretty aggressive. That is pretty aggressive. So she's going to drop 2. Where do you want to go? You have to drop down from space whenever you do, obviously. Just going to reinforce the alliance here. Yeah, and the spice of being come. She is preparing for Highliner here. And the players will know she's got access to it. That makes life a bit awkward. But it's kind of weird, though. She's the only person with any garrison strength. I don't know. It should be interesting. I expect we will see Hondro, like... I don't know. There's 6 spice at Great Flat. You probably have to go there first. So he just goes ahead and does that. I imagine I don't know if he might bump down, but I think he just wants to get this to the end of the track as soon as possible so he can just start drawing cards with Talaxu Master. I think that's what he's going to do. Look to go High Council and just kind of just play it that way. So I think, look, he's tempted to skip here, but he's got to bear in mind he's still got to pick up his Talaxu points. So he's trying to do some maths. He's happy to take the skip, which I guess is fine. Yep. Steel Suits, again, just going to jam the alliance. No surprises here whatsoever. Everyone playing pretty safe here, truthfully. All 4 alliances look already pretty locked up at this point. Don't really see how any of them are going to be lost. He has got his 2 actions. His Diplo, he's got his Diplo. I feel like he should probably use it. Secrets is fine. He could also maybe even... Oh, he doesn't have the Fremen access. He can't go Siege for Hardy or anything like that. I don't think I'd want to do it right now. Interesting couple of cards on the row, actually, as well. So some good cards here of Charney. Imperial Shock Troop is pretty cool. If he's going to be going heavy with the Emperor spaces, that will give him extra swords in combat. I don't think he'll take it, though, a lot of the time, but who knows? It's kind of weird, this. Like, it looks pretty like Alasia's going to take this conflict. So it's kind of a battle for money here. Guys having to think about it. It's tricky. I feel like Secrets is fine. Secrets is the only faction space you're ever going to get to, unless you're going to go for some selective breeding. which you also might not get to. A laser's going to... Well, it's kind of weird. So a laser's going Swordmaster, obviously. Hundro has no more faction access. So it's hard to know exactly what he's going to do, but he's not going factions here. And Ilban could have anything, but he can't get to selective breeding before you. So I think he's considering... But if he wants coordination... No, I think he's going to have to ignore coordination. I think Secrets is just fine. Just get the intrigue, work out from there. That's a nice one. That's a pretty nice one for him, actually. The spice for water and card draw. Solid little intrigue. So a laser will just go ahead and Swordmaster. I wonder if she'll buy the Fold Space card. I would consider buying it. No. Not interested? Andro, so Arrakis, so he's just going to put in his, yeah, he's just going to go ahead and just put in the troop. He just has to get whatever money he can. I wonder if there will be efforts to try and keep that money away from him. I wouldn't be surprised to see Ilban go. He's kind of weird. He's got 8 persuasion currently. What is Ilban going to do here? I don't hate just going Carthag. And just putting in a troop. And kind of just, like, restricting Ikaz's access of putting in troops here. And just looking to pick up the 2 money. You also have no intrigues currently. And having none sucks. So I feel like it's Carthag for me. I don't think Hager base, but you're not lose. You're going to be able to put your experimentation somewhere. I know you want to use your Benny sister, and he wants to go selective breeding and trash out this dagger. That's what he's eyeing up here. Depends which way you see it. He's done no experimenting at this point. He has not made any progress, so maybe you have to just bite the bullet and just go Imperial Basin, I guess. But he doesn't really want to be using his Benny sister to do the selective breeding's the only problem. But I feel like Imperial Basin's fine. It keeps Ikaz away from there as well. Kind of forces his hand to probably go Carthag if he wants to put a troop in. Which is what we will see. Peddlers. Ooh, look at this water he's coming across here. That's quite nice. Finds the Union. He's got a bonus water in his back pocket. Troops should go in, I think. Yeah, he's got to fight for that, I think. I think that's totally fine. Picks a liaison up. So again, eyeing up revealing with firm grip to get hold of some Spicemas flows. So a laser was threatening Highliner, and Highliner will be. She's going to now start using shifting allegiances to shift away from this faction to target other ones. I'm actually just putting 4. Yeah, 4 looks a good number here. You've got 3 intrigues in hand. There's no actions about here. I think 4 is totally fine. You should be comfortable there. Ooh, 3's a little cheeky. 3's a little cheeky. But I guess you got 3 intrigues. Like, it's really hard for anyone to get involved here. So, yeah, you probably... 3 is probably also going to win it. But I think a lot of people would just put in 4 and call it a day. So, 100 reveal 5. He'll take Piter, I imagine. Just wants to get Spicemas flows. Might as well go Boundless, maybe. Cannon turrets. Well, that's interesting. That's very useful. Oh, he does go for Boundless. So he's, yeah, just trying to get shipping in. He's going to use that to go and buy the Fremen and such. That's his faction access, basically. I don't hate that. I think either way is fine. You got a good ring. You got a lot of spice. I don't hate it. But that's interesting because the detonation devices is up there. That's pretty good knowledge. That means no one can force a retreat of any dreadnoughts here. So detonation looks to be some potentially decent value. Ilban has siege access. You might as well. There's no reason not to. Does he want to put the troop in? Probably not. I mean, at this point, you want to take the 6 reveal. Go for Piter or something. Ikaz will reveal for not very much. And that's it. No coordination available for Ikaz. Laser's going to reveal for 3. The setting kit turns up, which looks pretty juicy. Yeah, imagine we'll see that. As well, Tuick turns up here. Might that be of interest in Orban? Maybe? He hasn't got any progress with the faction. Maybe Esmar Tuek is a stronger pick for you than Pyto at this point. I don't know. Wow. I don't think you need to do Chani. He's thinking water for Sayadina, but I feel like that's getting a little too focused. Ooh, I don't know. The problem is, now I'm like, how are you going to get your friendship points elsewhere? I don't know. I think that's a little too one-tracky here. I think I would have preferred getting Esmar at this point, but... Okay, I guess. I also don't think anyone else would have picked Chani. You could easily pick that as you go. So, Hundro will pay the 2 swords to get hold of the extra money. The cannon turrets being gone is gonna be noticeable. The fact that's gone means that the value of detonation devices just went up. Because no one can force them to retreat. Laser takes a second city here. Very, very good for her. She's looking pretty strong, actually, as Laser Kaz. I like her chances. We'll move on here. Hunter, again, is putting everything behind Talaxu Master, but his action economy is struggling. Round 5 is Sort Through the Chaos Mentat fight coming. I think what Ilban wants to do is he wants to start using Sayadina at the Bene Gesserit, is what his intention is. So... Andrew's got his, whatever you want to call it, down. His, In the Shadows down. And Kaz is first, however. Keys to Power is in hand. I do not hate Harmony Kaz just going secrets here and just getting the point and taking the 2 spice. There's also a lot of spice in Haga Basin. There could be value in going Haga Basin, threatening selective breeding here. In fact, actually, that might well be the move. That looks very strong here. Haga Basin selective breeding is that, but obviously he wants to go shipping though as well. So he's got to. Either way. I feel like he should definitely be looking to target selective breeding with Keys to Power a lot of the time. Looks pretty good to me. Laser's got a really good hand here. It's almost too good. So, obviously the ship. Might he use this to take the alliance with the Emperor now? I suspect he probably will. Just so he doesn't have to do it with Firm Grip. He wants to start revealing that specifically for the point. He'll happily just take 2 friendships and call it a day. Looks good to me. Garrison's up. Laser's put down her recon here. Is she eyeing up some research station, maybe? What's the Laser want to do here? Shifting allegiances would need some spice. She'd have to go Haga Basin for that. Haga Basin looks pretty good. You got a decent garrison. You've got some more to spare. Wouldn't hate it. She's got Dissecting Kit in hand. The problem is she can't use it properly right now. Unless she goes Imperial Basin, eyeing up going to Research Station. But yeah, I think Haga Basin is just stronger here. But Dissecting Kit is currently, she's not going to be able to reveal that for a Beetle currently. She might end up even Ixion probing it off, who knows. So here comes In the Shadows. Just going to grab the Mentat. Dagger will go. Just start taking bumps. No surprise. Andre just wants maximum card draw. He's going to go Selective Breeding if someone lets him to as well. Like, Ekaz has to go Selective Breeding. I think it's very important to keep that away from Hundro. You've got to prevent Hundro from trashing cards as much as humanly possible in this game. It's very important that you do so. Also noting that he's going Mentat means he's giving up on Swordmaster here, so he's going to just try and live on that. Green want to put troops in. It might be too late. It's nothing to do with me. It's up to the table. I suspect they'll probably say, I don't know. It's up to them. Red's probably the most affected here. So I'd say if Red's okay with it, then, you know, that's fine with me. So Ilban's got Sardina. Is he just going to go Steel Suits again here and just take all the water here? I suspect he probably just will cement this alliance and call it a day. Yeah, not surprised. Ilban has put he's basically put his stall out that he's just going to spam Steel Suits here. I don't think he would go there anymore. He's going to hope that he can just hold on to the alliance here, but he would put his steel out. He was just going to spam that. He's got Steel Suits 4 times. Ikaz does go keys to power to select Jabrina. I think that's a good move. You should still press the space for the records, please. Some people will just do the trashing here, but it should still be pressed for records' sake. We have obviously our big chat log here, so I'm just reminding them. Even if he's then just going to put the spice back, he gets it in the records. So he trashes out his other dagger. Spice of Flowing might be coming here. Finds Firm Grip, which is active now. Hello, that's like 10 persuasion there. Very nice. Doesn't even need to use Charisma here. He can just use his Signet Ring or Experimentation and start buying Spiceless Flows here. That's a very strong draw for Ikaz, this. You really want to be finding Firm Grip with both your Convincings, and he's found exactly that. So, very nice spot here for Ikaz here. Ikaz is going to start going through the gears. That's the only problem with Hundro here. I think he's like, this plan is logical. The problem is it takes time to get the engine up and running here. So he might get outpaced. Ilban also as well is obviously going incredibly heavy with Sardina, but that's causing damage. He has got 1 bump amongst the other factions here. It's not a lot. He's going to be struggling to get these friendships. So a laser's just going to go ahead, and here we go. And the first one to bowl is going to be a laser here, deciding I've got battle supremacy. So I'm going to start rocking and rolling here. So she goes for detonation devices, is now going to put the challenge to her opponents and say, alright, what are you going to do about this? And the answer is, I don't know. She's looking to go Imperial Base in here so she can shift away as well. Hundro opts to conspire. Well, if Hundro's going for Sunmaster now, he'd have to use the Talaxu Master, and he might well do it. Talaxu Master has, he has 1 marker. He's allowed to acquire a card that is of up to 6 cost. There's some good ones out there, Esmar, Tuek, and Piter in hand. So it looks like he might well be considering doing exactly that here. He also might not bother, who knows? But Detonation Device is going there. That's bad news for Hundro. Hundro, I think, wanted a piece of that. But he's not going to get there in time. Laser decides to go first here. And now it's a declaration here. What a player is going to do. What does Ilban do here? It's a very important Diplo move here. I feel like Wealth is probably fine. It just cements the point. It's money for Mentat later on. You're going to get an opportunity to get it somewhere, surely. Secrets you could do, Fold Space you could do, but I feel like you probably just want to take the hard point, and the money's probably the most useful right now. Bit of a tricky spot. I wouldn't be surprised to see Hundro actually take like Esmar Tuek here. With Talaxu Master, but I don't know. Does opt for Wealth. I feel it feels slightly better here, just to get that point on the board as well. And the Emperor Alliance says that you don't have to worry about going to the Emperor ever again. It's not it's something you don't have to worry about, so feels really good. Ikaz has a free action with either Experimentation or his Signet Ring. It's really awkward. Like, you feel like you're probably meant to go Carthag, but you're just giving a laser more money, which is paying for more Dreadnoughts as well. That's the thing. With both Carthag and Arrakis, you're just funding her Dreadnought economy by going to these cities. Like, a laser is really nicely set up here. But I don't think that's going to deter him. He's going to go Carthag anyways. He's got Harvest Cells he wants to use. Find Shadowy Bargain. Interesting. Does he decide to use that now? Or does he hold on to it for potential to get the second Talaxu point? Honestly, I'm unsure. I don't know. He's reluctant to use Glimpse. He's also reluctant to leave his intrigues to be stolen. Grabs Guild Bankers with his ring. Not a surprise. Wants to compare, because he wants to combine that with Firm Grip. I think he would just use Shadowy for the Specimen now. He kind of wants to leave it. The problem is, can he still get the point? Oh, he does go for glimpse. Wow. Bit of greedy from Ikaz. Could go wrong here. He finds a liaison, which is, it's not a big deal. It's not ideal for him, though. Interesting. So he is going to hold on for Shadow. He's going to go for all the points on the Talaxu. Probably feels he has to. Here comes a laser to Basin. Dreadnought will go in. Start shifting away from the spacing. She's just 3 points anywhere she wants here. Yep, Emperor point. Get that done first. Looks good. You're always threatening, shifting to get more troops as well. Both of them will go in. No shocks here. A laser Ikaz might just be too fast for the table here. Hundro smuggles, obviously prepping up for his boundless and his signet ring. Invasion ships is also on the road, by the way, ever since detonation's gone. That's huge for Hundro. Likes the look of that. Ilban is up. Well, if he wants the experimentation, it's going to cost him 2 water. But I think he should. I think he might have to. Siege is like you could do, I guess. He doesn't want to draw any cards. I feel like it's either Siege or it's Great Flat. Tech Negotiation feels pretty bad. I could see him just going Siege with his ring. He does not want to spend 2 water at Great Flat. He does not want to. But again, the problem is he's gone so hard on Sayadina that he's causing himself research issues. That's the problem. So he's causing himself, it's some difficulty here. I don't hate Siege. It gives you some research station options later on, which helps you kind of get around the fact you're not doing a lot of actual experimenting. It also garrisons you up. You could limp a troop in. I think Siege is probably better on the whole. And you want to get this troop in, I think. You've got to be looking to try and get High Council. Yeah, I think this is fine. It doesn't feel the best, but I feel it's the best that you've got to be able to. So Ikaz reveals for 11. He's going to get a ton of specimens here as well. So Talaxu Spice is his. Just about beats his opposition. Not by much. But he gets there. Harvest cells will be used later on, obviously. Once the combat is resolved. Has got a couple of persuasion left. I wouldn't bother. I think it's totally fine. He might grab a liaison. He's trashed his daggers, I guess. He's thinking of doing this so he can trash out convincing. Okay, that's fine. If you're going to buy a liaison to trash out convincing, sure, it's just a straight upgrade. I don't hate that. A laser will just reveal for 1. Nothing to do here. Hundro will finish off his research. At the with that. Fine scientific breakthrough. That is not the card he wanted to see. That's not the card he wanted to see at all. So you'd have to wait a little bit longer for that point. And Ilban will take the intrigue here. So Ilban's going to have to find his way to this. Ooh, mission's pretty nice. That'll help him buy a Spice plus Flow if he falls a touch short. Bit of a fail-safe. There's no comment to be played here. So Ilban will take the 2 coins. Ikaz will take the 2 and the intrigue. Also, Ikaz will get the couple of specimens here with Harvest Cells. And Laser Ikaz is going to pick up the Mentat. Phalanx Finesse. Wow, that's pretty nice. If she fancies being funky with her... if she fancies being funky with the Spacing Guild, that could give her a bit of extra flexibility. 6 point now for detonation. And I think this is starting to look a bit... This is starting to look a bit dire for Dreizo here. I think he's taking... He's not getting there fast enough. He needs to find some points very quickly here. Both red and green are scoring very freely. Grand Conspiracy found for Ikaz, by the way. That's a nice one for him. That's a nice one for him. He's already got the Spice. High Council he can definitely get. He just needs so a bit more faction, which he can probably score at least 1 point from that. Next up is raid stockpiles. So more resources as we gear up. Next up is the tier 3s. It should be interesting. Hunjo's got both Boundless and Signet Ring in hand here. He might have to... Oh, but he can't... Oh, what's he going to do here? He can't go for flagships. He doesn't have enough spice. Did he just garrison up at invasion ships? I don't know. But I think Dreizo's in trouble here. He's not out of it, but I think he's in trouble. I think he's in real trouble as Dreizo. I'm not sure he's going to... He's going to have to dig something out here to continue the defense of his title here. But I think he's in deep trouble. Eleza's got 4 actions. Oh my god, look at her hand. Well, she can Ixion probe freighter fleet here, so it's not a big deal. Ooh, what an interesting hand she's got here. But she wants the Ixion probe freighter fleet, probably getting the troops into combat, but it's not a great round for her. She also needs to use an intrigue here. Do you just Ixion probe right now? It feels bad to use finesse. Machine culture officially... Wow, she does just immediately finesse. Wow. That's pretty sick. So she is going to take some risks here with the with this. She's going to dare Ekaz to do something about it. It's probably safe. It's pretty hard for Ekaz to make an approach, but Ekaz has Grand Conspiracy. Ekaz might flicker and have a dart here with this faction. So it's worth noting, now the card is down for a laser, gives her less options for Ixion Probe. It will be coming. She's going to go shipping, and I guess she's just going to Signet Ring, like Arrakis or something, with Ixion Probe or something. We'll see what happens. Hunjo will select a breed as expected. Obviously just looking for TM as much as humanly possible, but he's in real trouble here. There's a TM, so he finds one. He's at the end of the track, so he's going to start buying spice here, but it's looking difficult now. Just going to score points here, but it's difficult. Private Army is found, by the way, which is pretty damn good. But he's up against it here. Ilban has Saidina. I think you just got to go secrets here. I think you just got to go secrets of Saidina and call it a day. It's the only spot to get there. Oh, look at his hand. His hand is crazy. Obviously, there's no Mentat. Hunjo's saying I'm going to Swordmaster, which, you know, he obviously would be. What does Ilban want to do here? I feel like Saidina's secrets has got to be the correct move. If you need to defend your Throne Alliance later, you can do that. Secrets has got to be correct, right? He's got all of his Fremen cards in hand. He's thinking High Council, but if Secrets goes, you're going to feel pretty silly. It's got to be Secrets for me. Once Selective Breeding goes immediately, I think this is forced. You have to take the bump. You've got to get the point here. I don't think there's any debate about this. He's thinking of going back to Steel Suits again, but he doesn't really need to. Seems the correct move. Finds Talaxu Puppet, which is +1 reveal. That's all that is. He's never getting the reveal for that, the endgame point. That is just simply that. So just 3 points of Saidina. Just absolutely blitzing and going all in with that. Not pretty. Ekaz is first to get to High Council. Imagine he'll just buy another... He might buy another Liaison. Maybe. I don't know. But I'm not surprised to see that. So at least he's got a Signet Ring. I expect we will see a city... No! Well. So Eleza's going to garrison up with more Dreadnoughts, and she's going to rely on getting good draw out of Ixion Probe here. Here comes the Swordmaster. Signet Ring is coming for Hunjo. No Mentat. But he buys anyways. Because he wants to reveal Chris Knife here. He wants to get the throne bump to protect his alliance. Finds Diplo. So happy just to go for that. That's the thing. Sometimes that's the thing with the Mentat comment comes up that sometimes Ilban will still go Mentat because he just feels like he has to. Which is pretty much the case there. So Ikaz will be next. What does he want to do here? He's got his Diplo. Oh. Is there ever a world you go like Hager Basin Highliner or something? He's got 7 persuasion. Hardy Warriors, maybe? Research Station? Research Station. He's trying his best. He's going to get it. Finds Firm Grip. What an insane draw for Ikaz. How does he find Firm Grip there? What a find. It's a huge draw for him. He's going to bump down for the faction point. He's going to hope that he's with Specimen. He's going to bump up twice here as Ikaz for his last researches, knowing he's got Shadowy Bargain in his back pocket. So I like bumping down here for the faction. I think he's got to go for the spacing guild. He's got to threaten this. I think it makes total logical sense to threaten this. Yeah, players are flying here. Yeah. Could debate that. I mean, the more time you roll the dice, you're going to start getting some less rolls. The last scientific breakthrough was unfortunate, but it's not a big deal. So, Eliza will get to the shipping. She'll just cash it in here and call it a day. Diplo and Dag were the last 2 cards. I think she's going Hardy Warriors here. And she's going to absolutely just punt this in. Eliza up to 7 points. And remember, of course, a laser can put it up to 6 units here. The 2 from shipping, 2 from Hardy Warriors, and 2 from Garrison if she does go Hardy Warriors. She might just go Still Suits and put in 4 here. Dreadnought and 3 troops, and I actually wouldn't even hate that. I feel like it's Still Suits or Hardy Warriors. Just depends which way you see it. The problem is, I think I'd just be going Hardy Warriors, truthfully. I feel like you want to make certain of this point here. But you've got an action behind, then I don't hate actually going Still Suits. Of course, you won the Mentat Conference, didn't you? You're kind of bluffing a bit here, though. You're kind of bluffing a little bit. You don't have anything behind here. So it's a little cheeky to go Still Suits. But Laser's shown that she's prepared to try and greed on the troops a little bit in an earlier conflict, so Laser's got to think this through very carefully. I think Hardy Warriors is safer, yeah. I think this is a better move. Like, I think Steel Suits is a little too cheeky. Besides, the extra troops are going to be good for you later on, so you can put it up to 6. I imagine she'll put in at least 4 or 5. I feel like 5 is correct. Goes all 6. I think that's a bit unnecessary. Now you're kind of suggesting that you don't have anything behind. I think I would have preferred to put in 5 and leave the 2 troops behind there. Hundro does use Imperial Basin. Now he's going to start putting cards into his hand, specifically Piter, to start finding his Spice Must Flows. No use of detonation of advanced weaponry. Don't have the money. Hundro, interesting to see what's happening here. Hundro is going to be preparing up. His Diplo is coming. So he's looking for, obviously, Highliner next round. He's got a lot of firepower behind him, so he's likely to win it. He's still in with a shot here. It's very close, this. I feel like Elazar's probably slight favourite. But there's not a lot in it. You know, Ilban's got 3 points out of Sayadina. Well, that's the thing, you know, when you're drawing with TM, like, when you've got a card like Breakthrough that you need to use, sometimes you're going to draw it. That's the risk you take at TM. If you've got a card that you desperately need to use and don't want to reveal, sometimes what you got to do with TM, you know? That's just part of the game. So what does Omenikaz want to do here? He could just go Fold Space and just totally threaten this, knowing that he's got Grand Conspiracy. But he might end up drawing himself into actually going for the Alliance. So this would be interesting to see. He does need to also get hold of his throwing point, though, as well. So this is a tricky spot for Ekaz. He's got to make a big decision here. How many cards you got left to draw here? 5 cards? I think I don't hate Fold Space. You know, it makes life awkward for a laser. The problem is you've got to find a way to steal suits then in a following round, and that could be very difficult. You might not ever get the opportunity to do so. But it's a point either way. So, it's an interesting spot here for Ekaz. Spice of Flow is coming regardless. The problem issue for Ekaz is he needs to find a research. Preferably 2. In fact, he does need to find 2 researches, and I don't know how Ekaz is going to do it with his current hand. So, bit awkward for Ekaz, this. I think I prefer Steel Suits, ultimately. Oh, I don't hate Fold Space looking at it. He's got Spice of Soul coming this round. Guild Bankers is coming next round, and he's got Charisma and High Council. He's got a Liaison and a Convincing coming as well. So he's going to get Spiceless Flow almost certainly next round. The problem is, yeah, he's in some trouble here. Is Ekaz. He's in some strife. I don't know if he's got any more triangle access. Or if he's got any more faction access. I don't think he's got a ton. Zach's a little bit stuck here. He's got himself into a bit of a pickle. I feel like Steel Suit is probably just the better move here, but I don't know. The problem is, what are you doing with the money from Spacing Guild? That's the next question. What are you doing with the Spacing Guild? If you take the money, what are you using it for? The problem is I don't think he's using it for very much, if anything. If there was a more obvious use for it, like if he already had flagships, and I'd be saying 100% go Fold Space, but I don't see an obvious outlet for the Solari. Whereas the water always has some uses. Also, getting Siege access is never bad. So I think if we're using Diplo, I'd rather go Steel Suits. There's no reason, I don't think, to use Firm Grip at Wealth to just take the bump there. I think you might as well just use Diplo and call it that. I don't think going Wealth and then paying for the bump elsewhere makes any sense. You might as well just use Diplo at that point. So it's a tricky spot here for Ekaz to know how to proceed here. I feel like Steel Suits is the most logical. Fold Space is a little funky. He might also be trying to work out if there's any way he can get hold of 2 Spice for Highliner if he can get Highliner access. But surely you'd imagine Hundro's just going to get there before you, so I wouldn't even worry about that. So I understand Ekaz taking a moment here to think about this. This is it feels a big moment. Although realistically, I think he's only got 2 choices. I don't see anything else that makes any logical sense. I don't see a reason to go smuggling. There's no reason to go any cities, anything like that. It just depends if he wants to go Steel Suits for the hard point, or does he want to go Fold Space for the... I feel like I'd rather go Steel Suits for Siege access, and that you might find your way to Fold Space again later on anyways. It's a less competitive spot, I reckon. But it's kind of weird, though. Hundro and Ilbar, neither of them have got any progress there, so I don't know. Maybe it is a higher fighting, but you don't have to go for 4 bumps on the spacing specifically. It could be anything else. So, you know. But I think it still suits for me. I don't see any... I think still suits in balance is probably just better. But I don't hate going fold space. But you're kind of... It's a bit proxy-ish. It's a mandatory effect, so I would say just take it. If it had gone to the next round, I would say no, but... That's my ruling. If you're not happy with it, then tough. So Ekaz does ultimately go Steel Suits. I feels the right move. Laser still has an action behind. I honestly don't even think I'd do anything. I'd probably just keep the dagger. I actually think the dagger for combat is better here than actually going tech negotiation. But she's going to tech negotiate anyways. Honestly, I think I would have just revealed. I don't really think this negotiator is ever doing a whole lot, but whatever. Anyways, 9 persuasion for Hundro. Gives him a Spice Must Flow. Taxi points on his way here, so Hundro's managed to do a decent job in catching back up here. There's still a lot to do here. Ilban's going to reveal for... He has 5 persuasion in his hand and the faction bump. He cannot get hold of Spice Must Flow, though. Puppet and Recruitment is only +2. He's going to Atomics and I think look to try and Recruit Mission top deck something. Wow. That's some pretty good stuff there. I think I would be Recruit Mission. Whatever you grab, I think I would actually Recruit Mission as well. He doesn't. Well, he's going to hold on for the Spice Must Flow. Okay. Spice Must Flow for Ekaz. Gets him to 8. Ekaz can definitely try to make a punt for this. Worst come to worst, if he takes the Specimen, he's going to get at least an intrigue out of Shadowy Bargain. So I think he still goes for it here. But it's looking harder to see how he's actually going to manage to get hold of the last Talaxi point here. It's getting harder. He just takes Initiate. And I don't think anything's going to happen here. Hundro is I don't see Hundro using 8 swords here to stop a laser scoring this point. I cannot see him ever doing that. Yeah, he doesn't bother. Makes sense. So that is that. So a laser gets a second point out of detonation devices here. Lasers plays pretty nicely. Laser still hasn't even got the Fremen friendship point either. So she's still got to score that as well. She's in good shape here. She's won a lot of conflicts as a laser. Really good stuff. So round 7 is Arrakis. It's a bonus troop for green with this city access here. Hundred, of course, will immediately highline. No debate about that. Has this scientific breakthrough. Shadows is there as well, so he's just going to obviously punt this in here. Hunter's not going to be able to end the game here, I don't think. He can get to 9. Battle would be 7. Breakthrough would be 8. Talaxa would be 9. Oh my god, in the shadows would be 10. Oh, we really can't... yeah, it would be. Wow, Hunter can actually end this. He can get to 10 here. Breakthrough in the shadows discards the dagger, and the experimentation gives him the last acid point, so he can get the all 5 here. It is on just about. Ilban goes to selective breeding here. Big draw this. Not ideal for him. Kaz has got guild bankers. Remember, he's got high council and charisma, so he only needs 2 persuasion. Wow, what a spot for Ekaz here. What a spot for Ekaz. What a... I mean, he knew this hand was going to be pretty bad. Laser has not yet been given the opportunity to put any card down here, so, you know, it's on the table here. You know, this is just information that Green's getting ultimately. You know, if they both of them decide just to barrel immediately, that's not her laser's fault. There's just more information she gets here, so... So Ekaz has got a really tricky spot here of what he wants to do. Does he decide to go and continue fighting for fold space? The problem is if he does, what is he going to do with his stuff here? You might see Ekaz go fold space flagships. You might see him go fold space flagships here. And I think that's exactly what we're seeing here. Fold space flagships looks like it's going to be the plan. The problem is that he's going to have to reveal. He's not going to be able to... He's going to have to go up there with his liaison, and then that's it. So Ekaz is going to be hoping there's another round here. Laser ultimately puts down her freighter fleet card ultimately, which is very interesting to see. What does Laser want to do here? She's eyeing up High Council for Secret Forces here. But ops the Mentat first. Don't hate it. A draw is a bit awkward here. She's got no way of getting hold of flagships before Ekaz. That is what he's deciding to do here. You feel this is the last round, almost certainly. Hello, Shifting Allegiances. That's very nice. So, yeah, Hunjo's just going to obviously barrel here. He's going to look to try to pick up a Spiceless Flow while he's at it as well. He's not there. He's only got 6. So he's not going to get hold of the Spiceless Flow, but, you know, maybe it's as much also just denying it here. So, In the Shadows will be played to get hold of his spacing bump. And he's just going to rely on his spice and swords to get him to 10 points. So, Hunjo's going to get to 10. But it's not a great 10. These are big moments in this match here. Big, big, big moments. Is Dreizo going to get himself out of jail here? I'm trying to see how other people are getting to 10 points, and being honest, I'm not seeing it. Ilban is really struggling here. He could get to 8 pretty easily. He probably has to experiment twice here to get hold of his Talaxu point to get him to 9. Oh, man. Feels bad. Feels bad. He's just going to go High Council. Ilban needs an 8th round. He finds the Chris knife. That is not what he was looking for. It's a terrible draw for him. Ekaz is going to go flagship here. But Ekaz is going to have to reveal early. The problem is Ekaz currently, he can get to 10, but it's not a winning 10. Oh, that's a lie. No, Spiceless Flow is 10, and Grand Conspiracy is 11. I miscounted there. Ekaz currently is looking good to win this. And Dreizo would not score enough here. A reminder, the current 5th place fastest loser, Yasma, has 10 victory points, 6 spice. Hunjo currently would not make it. Ekaz looking pretty good here. I mean, just that round 2 Swordmaster for Ekaz. And winning Machinations round 2 as well. Huge. Well, that's the way it goes. Everyone has scored really freely in this game. Like, it's been a pretty high scoring game here. It's just been basically a race, this. It's all this has been, just basically a race. But Ekaz knows he's probably favourite to win here. He's probably favourite to win. A laser in an awkward spot. Laser does not need to play the freight fleet if she doesn't want to. What does a laser do here? Is there any way she can win this conflict? I think the answer is no. She can get the throwing point for 9. But then what? Yeah, understandably, Green taking a while to think this through. This is a huge one. Is there any way for Green to... There's any way if Green can get there. I have no idea if he drew. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I believe you did. A laser Kaz deep in the tank. How does she get to 10 points here? Is there any way to 10 points? She can machine culture invasion ships. But then what? I think the only move I can see as a laser is she goes interstellar shipping and then she machine cultures invasion ships, goes to steel suits to get her point there. That will trigger... She can put in all of those troops. That triggers diversion, which then triggers her shipping. It's the only thing I see that would make any logical sense. Now, we know that Hunter's sitting there with a load of... with 8 swords. So we know Hunter's going to win the conflict here. And I think she might know it as well. But as far as conflict-wise, it's all I can see. Is the additional bump any good, though? Like, if Red was going to steal your alliance, they would already have done it at this point. So... Dreizo's just messaging directly to me. Yeah, I mean, he's going to go Arrakis here. He knows he needs an 11th point. He knows 10's no good here. If he draws it, he draws it. If he doesn't, he doesn't. But he's going to go Arrakis. And he's going to close his eyes and hope he gets there. So what does Green do? That's the only thing I could see is interstellar shipping. And worst comes to worst, like, you've got scientific. Is there any alliance you could steal? I don't think so. Oh, she's got the negotiator, actually. Oh, my God. So how about this? A laser Kaz goes into the shipping, and then Imperial Basin with scientific breakthrough gives a 6 by personal negotiator, and then she gets invasion ships and then uses that to triple bump an alliance. She'd have to give up the throwing point, but it would deny red a point potentially, or yellow a point, depending which way she goes here. So here we go. Goes for the draw. Finds TM. So Hunjo's pretty much good for the Spice Must Flow here. I don't know. I think Dreizo might get out of this. But I think that's the only thing that makes any sense here. A laser has to use diversion. I think, yeah, machine culture, Imperial Basin. And then she can use shifting. And she can use that to steal an alliance. The problem is, who do you steal, red or yellow, if you do that? Feels kind of like king making, doesn't it? Feels like a bit of king making, but that's the way it is. I think that's what a laser's got to do, though. I don't see any other way out around this. She's no dreadnoughts. She can't put anything in there. She's got 2 actions, remember. She could maybe even still get Still Suits and then Haga Basin. Laser's going to have the last 2 actions here. So, this is a very interesting spot here. I feel like Ilban probably just goes Haga Basin himself, though, for Spice Must Flow. He's good for Spice. He's not going to be short on it. But there's no way for Ilban to get his Talaxu point. He's just not been fast enough. He'll just go Haga Basin, I imagine. Whoa, Eric goes Recon! He finds Harvest Cells, funny enough, which is basically the same thing. I think I would have preferred going Haga, but whatever. But I think that's the only thing that makes sense for me for a laser. I think Still Suits, because Ekaz is going to reveal early. Oh no! Oh no! I think I know where this is going. Oh my god. I think a laser is going to be put into king making here. Because Ikaz is going to reveal early. And he knows that Hundra is going to score at least 2 points. And she's going to have to decide whose alliance to take here. Wow. What a spot for a laser Ikaz this is. Did she get the spice for using the freighter fleet? She did. Well, a laser Ikaz, what a insane spot this is. Yep, Machine Culture is going to take invasion ships. She can take the bump with... wow, this is insane. This is going to be absolutely wild. So it all goes in for diversion. What is a laser's choice here? Where is she going with these faction bumps? Where is she going with these? The problem is she... where does she go? I don't know. I feel like a laser's going to take Ikaz's alliance. Because she has to for detonate for the extra troops to try and win the fight. Yeah, the moment she goes into the shipping, like I said, if it makes any logical sense. Wow. Armin Ikaz is out. His tournament is over. Just dead in front of us. Crazy. So Hundro will score his points. Oh, he missed it! Oh, he missed it! He drew boundless! He's missed his Spice Must Flow! Oh my god. Wow, that is wild. I mean, wow. That's a little unlucky. But I mean, wow, that's pretty insane. What a draw. He's hoping to find anything here. Cho'um. There's nothing he can do. There's nothing he can do. The best he can do is buy Shai Halud and trash Boundless. So he can buy again. There's none he can do. That is a little unfortunate. Wow, well, now this has gotten interesting. But if Hundro still wins the conflict, it doesn't matter. Alasia Ikaz has to win here. But how does she win? That's the problem here. How does she give herself further combat potential? Hundro's still sitting there with 8 swords. He might get there anyways. Can a laser Ikaz fluke something at secrets? I think secrets is the only move that makes any sense. She has no way of putting in more troops. Can she get lucky? No! No way! Oh my god. That's about the only card she could pull where she wins the game. Unreal draw. That is one of the most disgusting draws I've ever seen. It's over. And Baxter's through. He wins. Oh my god. You might want to get the maths right here. Yeah. Unbelievable. What an absolutely sick draw that is. This in blackmail was basically it. Unbelievable. And that is it. Dreizo's tournament is over. If he finds Piter, it's a sword tie. He gets the Spicemas flow. And I think he just wins. I think he can say that he got a bad draw there. I cannot believe that just happened. That is insanity.
Hang on, I get an intrigue.
Yeah, please take all your in-game stuff, kids.
I got a shadowy bargain.
Can't use that one.
No good.
Wow. Well,
quite a move at the end.
That was wild. That was wild. Good game, guys.
Well, I mean, it was a pretty free-scoring game. It was basically just a race for everyone. This one here, like, no one was really bothering to stop anyone else. It was just who can score the fastest. I will say that, like, sometimes, obviously, when you take more and more draws and you get more and more dice rolls, like, you're never gonna get more times where you don't draw what you're after. But I will say that this one in particular was pretty sick. And I think, like, you have full credence to be a little annoyed about that. That was absolutely... Especially top decking Private Army. I think that's a base. I think it's literally that, and there's like 3 intrigues that win you the combat. That, blackmail, or if you somehow find Allied Armada. I think that's literally it. That was insane. I guess
the difference in the game,
reinforcements, right? I guess, also would have worked. There's a few, but I mean, that was crazy.
If Dreizo wins, he wins the game.
Yeah, exactly. It was always this was always going to be the last round here. There was no doubt about that. And then it was obviously awkward of like a laser, like which alliance she's going for. She has to go Emperor. And the moment she goes in there, you know that's on. But yeah, that was a pretty insane last round. I mean, yeah, I guess sometimes, but the problem is that's the only issue. Like obviously you're jamming selective breeding, so you're going to get tons more draws. So you're more likely to find stuff. Like obviously, like with Scientific the last round, obviously it wasn't ideal, but that's the way it goes. Sometimes you go draw heavy. It can go a bit weird. But, I mean, yeah, the last one was obviously pretty insane. So, like, what are you going to do, I guess? Crazy match.
Yeah, it was fun to play. Well played, Green.
It was a crazy, crazy match. Yeah.
Good game, everybody.
You're not to know. Yeah, basically, Private Army was... I mean, he had a few intrigues he could have pulled that would have won in the fight. Blackmail, Allied Armada, reinforcements would have been there. He had a few gets in there. But in any event.
Certainly looking for him right now.
Yeah. No, there's 4. Allied Armada's in there. Reinforcements is there because you wouldn't have had it. So that would have been in there. So he had some chances of getting there. But it is what it is. Yeah, anyways, yeah, I suppose congrats, Baxter, and somehow you get yourself to the quarterfinals.
Yeah. Sometimes it's better to be lucky than good.
I wouldn't want to possibly comment. I mean, to be fair, like, you know, you got a ton of value out of detonation. And again, this was one of those games that everyone just scored, like, you know, obviously Orban just went single-mindedly on still suits and Sayadina. Maybe a little too much, I don't know.
Perhaps. Yeah.
You know, there was a point earlier, I think, when you took Charney, I was thinking maybe you could have gone for, like, Esmar to, like, just try and find your point here. I didn't know if the one water was that much worth it.
No, bro, it's not. I couldn't use it at the end, so I have still 2 left, so... And no Sardina, so...
No, exactly. I mean, to get 3 points out of it is pretty good, but, like, getting 4 is really hard, unless the game goes 8 rounds, which, given the rate of scoring, I don't think it was ever that likely. And Ikaz, to be fair, you did everything. You found the route to try to win this game.
Yeah.
But, I mean, yeah, the diversion, been sitting there for a little while and shifting. Yeah. You know, as I always say, you can never defend against a triple bump.
Yeah, I knew if you had shifting, there was nothing I was either gonna have to sacrifice the Spice Must Flow or sacrifice the Alliance.
Yeah, you've
Take
got
my
to do one.
chances.
Which just is what it is. You know what you're gonna do. So, but yeah, no, it was a hell of a game, kids. It was a good watch, and
Yeah.
pretty wild stuff.
Well, GG, man.
Yeah,
Good game.
for
Yeah,
sure.
good game.
Thanks for covering, Shadow. Look forward to watching it.
So confirmation of the results here from this match, and OhBaxter does indeed find his way through to the quarterfinals in dramatic fashion. Quarterfinal J awaits him, where Care, Nishu, and the 5th fastest loser will be meeting him in the quarterfinals. Zach Shalak, unfortunately, will not make it as a fastest loser. His 10-1 Spice not enough, meaning that Game Slayer is now guaranteed to make his way through to the quarterfinals. Cherry J in Yai's map must still wait for results to go their way. But what an insane finish this was. Videll went really, really hard with the side D, which I didn't hate, but I think maybe got a little bit too single-minded, dropping maybe a point somewhere here and there as well. Not getting that Talaxi point as well was really, really brutal. Maybe just got a little too focused on that, but Dreizo, man, what an insane draw that was. And I repeat what I said in that, like, in the chat there, like, when you make more draws, you're more prone to get draws that you don't want. That's just the part of the nature of the game. And, you know, negative reinforcement and just, like, biases, you know, confirmation biases. Like, I know that all too well. Like, I, you know, play a lot of draw leads, like, you know, portraits, that sort of thing. But that was a sick draw to to miss Piter out of the draw of 3. Bottom of the deck there, and the sword would not only have got him the Spice's Flow, it would have ultimately tied the conflict against the Laser's completely absurd private army draw, and he would have won this match on Spice tiebreaker by, I think, literally 1 Spice. Incredible finish. I guess if you're going to go out of a competition and your defense of your title is going to be over, I suppose that's a hell of a way to do it. Absolute madness. And yeah, couldn't do it again, Dreizo. I think as well, the Imperium Cup, the first Imperium Cup, he lost his first 2 matches and then won every single game afterwards on an insane run. But unfortunately was not able to go the distance again, which means that we will have a new Imperium Cup champion at the end of the competition in February. What a match. I'm exhausted. Absolutely exhausted. Curious to know what your thoughts on this one. I think Eliza did play pretty solid. Like, just had a significant combat dominance. She won like 5 out of 7 conflicts or something. You know, absolutely huge. Taking, well, I mean, once after the skirmish went, like, basically Eliza, I think, won pretty much every single fight after that, which is crazy. And again, with detonation devices, getting in there early, getting a lot of points. It was kind of a weird game for Eliza ultimately in the end, but hey, you can't fault the results. So well played to Baxter. We'll be seeing him in the quarterfinals. But that is going to do it for us here for this match. So thank you all so much for watching. We have 2 more matches left to be played in the second round, and we'll be covering as much of that as we hopefully can. And of course, the quarterfinals await us as well. They'll start getting played as the new year starts rocking on. We'll be covering as many of those games as we can as well. Thank you for watching. Hope you've enjoyed. We'll see you in the next conflict.